Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to Anfield Road TV. I'm joined by Connor from the Cop Council. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, mate. Obviously, we will be previewing the Newcastle game on Wednesday night as well. But Connor, thank you very much for coming on, mate. How are you doing?
Oh, I man. No, of course, I'm not going to go up to him, but doing good. I'm just laughing at Liverpool fans melting on social media at the minute about transfers. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of days. And yeah, thanks for having us on as well. Because again, I think that all of us get a bit distracted from the actual footy, and it's mad that we've got now three footy games per week until the World Cup now. So it's coming thick and fast.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely chock-a-block. Not just for Liverpool, mate, as well. There will be injuries for a lot of clubs, and it's a dangerous and volatile market that I've said on a couple of my videos as well, mate. But this is the Liverpool Newcastle obviously build-up show. We'll obviously have a little insight in terms of Newcastle. I was doing a watch-along this weekend, so I've got a much better understanding anyway of their performance against Wolves, which I wasn't really impressed with them this weekend anyway. But chat, get your comments in if you are listening or watching anyway in the comments. Do get your comments in anyway, and we will reply to every single one of them. And in terms of Newcastle United, and most importantly, firstly, I've put it on my board anyway, but I just want to say a massive thank you as well to everyone. I think it hit me millionth viewer milestone, which is mad. Like about 5 years ago. I think he had a year or two out of YouTube a couple of years ago, obviously due to me being in uni and everything. So, but as I said to everyone, if you've got any ideas or if you want to create your own YouTube or you've got any ideas in life, just go for it. Like, I never foreseen a world that I'd be sat here with Coned or I'd have people actually tuning in. And as I said, if you've got a passion that you want to follow or any hobbies or whatnot, and you want to go down that road, just go down it. Rome wasn't built in a day, as I said. Will continue to be a great journey, and I've been blessed to meet Connor, do videos of him, and a lot more people out there watching as well. So a massive thank you to everyone that has come on my channel, and obviously I flipped that as well. That everyone that has invited me onto their shows or whatnot. Really do appreciate it, everyone. So as I said, everyone keep on smashing it as well. In life, if you want to go for a job or whatnot, just go for it. If in life, never have any regrets. As I said, creating this channel 5 years ago, never expected anyone. Just go back. I think I will do like a little edit in a couple of weeks. Obviously, I cut a couple of the videos and see the progression of the channel. I've still got a lot of targets that I would like to meet, but we'll get there when we get there anyway. And it's, as I said, it's not going to be a quick process, but nice one. Thank you very much. And obviously a massive thank you to UConn and every single one who's watching as well. But Connor, big game against Newcastle coming up on Wednesday night, mate. We've seen the reaction from Bournemouth in that game. Are you hoping that Liverpool going into this game on Wednesday night with the same attitude and, most importantly, the same quality?
You'd hope so, especially for, obviously, we all wanted a reaction against Bournemouth, and we obviously got that, the correct one that we wanted. I just think that, obviously, it's a much more difficult opponent in Newcastle. I think that, obviously, with the money that they've brought in this summer, bringing in, of course, we'll obviously speak about it a bit later on, but the likes of Isaac as well. I'm probably really excited to see if they start him.
Be a good signing that, won't it, mate? I'm not too sure if there's any Geordies watching or if there's any Newcastle fans. Let us know if you are watching this on the repeats. At the minute, mate, and when I was doing a bit of my research in terms that I don't think they've registered them in time. I might be completely wrong. But obviously, it did get announced. Was it yesterday, Connor? Officially on all there. Was it always the night before?
I think they did it on Friday. Like the paperwork went through on Friday.
Yeah.
So I think he can play. He couldn't play the weekend, but could play for the Liverpool game. But again, I'm not 100% sure on it neither.
So let us know, chat.
But yeah, for me, and again, I'm looking at Wolves, Newcastle's team against Wolves, that played on Sunday. And again, Nick Pope, they upgraded their Botman as well. For me, the glue in that Newcastle side at the minute, in my opinion, Bruno and Kieran Trippier as well. I think when Kieran Trippier is on the pitch, you get a much more difficult Newcastle side as well. Of course, he's learned the dark arts, hasn't he, from Diego Simeone from Atletico Madrid. But yeah, Bruno obviously didn't play on the weekend, but again, he's getting already tipped for a big move to a big club.
I'd take him. I've said this all to me, George. We've said this to
take anything.
I've said this to me, Geordie mates as well. They're not very best pleased anyway. Our mate Dodds. I said to him this week, I said, we're after you. Give it another season if Bruno, for Newcastle, obviously looking like he potentially might be missing for this game. As Connor's spot on there, we'll go. I've got a couple of in terms of the injury news for Newcastle, but in terms of Bruno, it's classed as him having an injury. I think it might be a potential thigh injury, as Connor alluded to. The game against Wolves this weekend, he wasn't playing, so you'd think potentially he's the one question mark that he potentially might be back if fit, but not 100% on that. But if he's not playing, that will be a massive miss. And I think watching that game, Connor, did you see any of the Wolves game this weekend?
Yeah, I watched Newcastle crap for about 70 minutes.
Yeah, they just failed to create anything through the middle, didn't they, mate? Which is difficult against that Wolves side, having such good technical players, but
it's obviously playing Chris Wood as well up front, isn't it? Like, as soon as they switched to Saint-Maximin, it completely changed, didn't it? With the threat, and obviously it's a doubt whether or not he'll be fit as well, Saint-Maximin.
Just a quick one on that last. Sorry. Yeah, obviously Wilson has got a thigh injury. I think he's just recently had surgery. So obviously, as Connor alluded to, and a lot of you already in chat, Isaac, the new signing from Real Sociedad, for the record fee for Newcastle Football Club anyway. Big young talent, as we said, but yeah, Wilson's out. Shelby's got a thigh injury as well. Alan Saint-Maximin, he was, when I was doing the watch along, he was holding his thigh muscle, or I say muscle on his leg anyway. Not bloody. I didn't do PE A level or what that, as you could tell. So it looked like it had done his thigh anyway. And Kraft, obviously, he's got a knee injury, so he won't be featuring. So probably the one question mark is over Bruno there, Connor. But we'll quickly get to everyone's comments and get your comments in if you want to ask Connor or chat anyway. We will discuss them. Big up John as well. Big up everyone, and big up everyone if you are listening. All these videos, especially the pre-match build-up shows, are available on Apple audio, whatever audio stream you like to listen on, but it will be on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts anyway, and Spotify if you are listening on them as well. So just search Anfield Road TV and they will be available very soon. There's a couple of episodes up on Spotify anyway, but as soon as we recorded the lives, they'll go straight up. Good for 40 an hour. Just give it the upload time anyway. But in terms of obviously the results for Newcastle, as you can see there, everyone. But just shout out the Anfield Lark as well. Yeah, a bit of a mad away kit, or is it a fair kit? Big up Jack and Connor. Panel, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Hello, Eamon, absolute legends. But yeah, Stanfield, like I said, imagine if George or FSG, George and Hicks, Gillette, or FSG made us wear stars and stripes as the second kit. It's bad enough some of the stuff they've done in the past anyway. But obviously the Anfield Lark as well. Exactly, Jack. Just go for John Moore, Glasgow Red saying, exactly, Jack, just go for at it. Don't even let someone tell you that you can't do anything. Big up, John. Jazz, even 9-0 was 9-0 was great, but Bournemouth isn't really an opposition where you can tell if your form is back on track or not. But Jazz, given the form you were showcasing the early stages, and it's a bit of a mad one, Connor. I seen on Sky Sports today, they were discussing, obviously, Aston Villa and obviously whether Gerrard should be getting sacked. But if Liverpool were to drop points and Villa got 3 points, they'd fly above Liverpool. So we're 4 games on, and it's just crazy. Yes, the league can't be won within the 4 weeks. into the season, can it, mate? It's just madness.
No, it's I get where Villa fans are coming from in terms of the style of play at the moment. And I was listening to I think Villa fans on Sky yesterday speaking about it, or it might be on a podcast, and they were going, oh, it's just cross, and they don't know what we're playing at the minute in terms of style, and it's like, yeah, it could be frustrating, but then if Villa go on a 5-win, a winning streak, it'd be completely forgotten about, wouldn't it, in a couple of weeks' time. And yeah, you can't write off the first couple of games and so on. Of course, look, Villa have pretty much bought a whole new spine realistically in terms of their players at the minute. I know that Phil Coutinho, I think, might be out for a couple of months because he picked up I think a thigh injury or a hamstring injury. As well, but yeah, it's interesting around the Premier League, though, isn't it? At the minute, Leicester at the bottom of the league, and already talks of Brendan Rodgers getting sacked at the minute. Obviously, with the Fofana deal happening at the minute as well, and Leicester not looking like they're going to sign anyone. So again, you look at this league at the minute; it all looks jumbled up. Give it another 3-4 weeks, it'll be completely different again. So again, just. I don't get, and it's the same with like Newcastle, for example. Newcastle, they've obviously had good results. Getting 2 draws against City. Probably should have beat City as well. And then of course, sadly should have beat City. And then obviously, yes, they get that point away from Wolves as well. But again, in a couple of weeks' time, a couple of bad results. You never know. Eddie Howe might get questioned, which is just stupid how the Premier League goes.
Yeah, us football fans, every single fan around the world, even the European fans as well, and South American fans, every football fan is very fickle. We'll go ups and downs and up and down throughout a season. That's why we love football. But obviously at the minute, everyone's going to be on a complete downer in reality in terms of Liverpool don't get a midfielder. I'm just going to log off Twitter. I'm just going to do me pre-match, post-match reviews. I'm going on someone's shows. I'll go on and then just...
Thursday, Liverpool lose, and then deadline day comes around.
It's not happening. We're winning every game until now, the end of the season.
No, it's not happening. But if it happens, it's like, imagine transfer deadline day where like they go to Liverpool and it's like, yeah, it's a bit quiet at Liverpool. Everyone on Twitter is just going to be, absolutely.
John Henry comes out at the AXA training facility and tells everyone to F off. Get out. I'm going back home. But yeah, big up everyone as well. It's a quick one in terms of Newcastle United this season, chat as well, and everyone listening. Goals. Newcastle have scored 6 goals in the Premier League this season, conceding 4. Callum Wilson is Newcastle's top goal scorer in the Premier League already with 2 goals, and it goes with Alan Saint-Maximin, who's got 1 goal, 2 assists. Obviously, that goal did come against Wolves this weekend. It was a lovely volley. But as I said, I was doing a watch along and he was very quiet. Speaking to a lot of me, Geordie mate and everything, he's one of the most frustrating players, would you say, Connor? Like in terms of the Premier League, where like we seen last week against Manchester City, he's got the ability to very much thrive in a system and be one of the best players in the Premier League when he's on his game. But then he drops an absolute clanger against Wolves where he was constantly running into central pockets, central areas where Wolves were at their strongest in terms of all their technical players, where just have that intelligence within a game. Just go, yes, Sands, I'm going to stop going through the central areas, but go down the wing and at least try and take on your fullback, really. Does he frustrate you as well, Connor and chat?
Yeah, massively. I think, look, Saint-Maximin on his day, like we saw last week against City, can be one of the best wingers in the league. And then you'll have those 3 or 4 game periods where, okay, yes, he scored yesterday, and saved Newcastle a point. But when you actually watch it from minute 1 to minute 90, it will frustrate you massively. And I feel like he has those type of games. Like he'll have that one game where he'll stand out and everyone goes, oh, why isn't the likes of Liverpool going after this player? Why isn't a United and an Arsenal or someone like that going after Saint-Maximin? And then when you watch him then over a consistent period of time, which you might see even on Wednesday as well, where he's maybe just marked out the game and kept quiet, and you look at that and you're like, well, you can see why he's not really fancied as much, especially the price tag around Saint-Maximin as well. At the minute.
It's him, Connor. If you could, or if you can think of any other players as well, chat. Him and Wilfred Zaha are probably two of the most frustrating players in the Premier League. Because I tell you what, and a lot of people do say, is it a big player in the small ponds? But if you make that transition into a more elite team and a better team, no respect to Newcastle and obviously Crystal Palace, but if you put them in a better environment surrounded by better players, would their qualities thrive, would you say, Miss? Or would you?
Yeah, it's the fact that, he loves going one-on-one with players, doesn't he? And he loves thriving at them. And I think the thing is, I think Saint-Maximin, 1 minute he's on the left, 1 minute he's on the right, and then of course yesterday he got moved into that centre forward role. And you do think, if he was at a higher club, where would he play? I think for me, he would go on the left, similar how like we've seen over the years, with Sadio Mane on that left hand side for Liverpool, and just going at teams and cutting inside and so on. And yeah, you are right in the sense of if he was to play for a bigger side, so obviously no disrespect to Newcastle, and to Chelsea or an Arsenal type of create more chances and going a bit more forwards, then yeah, 100% it could be possible. But again, it's that thing of price tag as well with Saint-Maximin. How much would he cost a big side at the moment? You're looking 60, maybe 70 in today's market.
If they had Ashley, then obviously speaking
100 mil plus.
Yes, speaking to Dodds, it was last season. Obviously, when before the owners come in, we made Dodds massive Geordie anyway, and massive Newcastle fan, and that was always the concern prior to obviously the new regime coming into Newcastle was if a player like Gino Wijnaldum, when he comes to us, obviously 25 million we signed him for, and any player that even Cabaye at Newcastle when he was one of the best midfielders at that time and that period. There was always that chance of, they'll leave. But now, obviously, the infrastructure that is in place at Newcastle is absolutely fantastic now. And they are as you said, mate, they're in a much better position in terms of keeping their prized assets and bringing, as we've seen with Isaac and obviously Kieran Trippier, very well-established England international to the football club. Everything's looking up anyway. But in terms of obviously the Miggy Almiron, I really do like him as a player, Connor. Obviously, he's obviously disrespectful comments in which we did see Jack Grealish. It was poetry, really, in terms of Miggy Almiron scoring against Manchester City and more or less going like that. Well, I wish he did do that, and I wish if Jack Grealish was playing, I wish he just celebrated in front of his face. But obviously, surprise. Yeah, Jack Grealish wasn't in the team selection. He was supposedly injured or he was missing for some reason. Couldn't handle a little Miggy Almiron, especially it was poetry, mate. It was the fact that he went out and scored with his knee or whatever part of his body. I was doing a watch along for that. But what are your thoughts on Miggy Almiron, or is there any other players that you do look at this Newcastle side that really impress you?
I wouldn't say Almiron for me. I do think he deserves a bit more praise.
I like his attitude. In terms of his quality, he's not like obviously up there, but in terms of his attitude,
he's that type of player that'll go a million miles an hour when he one stop. I think that's the best thing. I might sound a bit weird, but for me, Joelinton, like the fact that he went from a striker. I remember last season, I think it was on 1892 Red podcast with you, I think, and he played centre forward, went out, played left wing, scored two goals against Norwich, I think it was last season, and then played defensive midfielder, for the rest of the game. And I'm like, I can't, like, the only player I can think of that could probably do that is James Milner, that can transition and play, everywhere across the field. Now, I'm not saying, of course, Joelinton is this world-class midfielder, don't get me wrong. But, the fact that Eddie Howe has managed to transform him, and I know he wasn't brought in to be a midfielder, he was brought in to be a number 9. But the fact that somehow Eddie Howe has actually made him look like a decent midfielder in the Premier League, for me, it does show great man management as well, to get his right position. But even still, I think, the progression with Joelinton, because a lot of us was like, taking the mick out of him and, going, oh, well, he's not a striker. I think Eddie Howe's just completely changed him into a box midfielder.
Yeah, I suppose that's exactly what Newcastle need, mate, and similar with Liverpool. And in terms of when you do analyse Liverpool's midfields, obviously for what they lack in certain qualities, you're getting work rate anyway. I tell you what, if Newcastle, and especially the way in which Newcastle transformed under Eddie Howe, I tell you what, if they had 11 Miggy Almirons with the right attitude, in which he does have, I tell you what, if you have 11 players with the right attitudes, and we've seen, especially in the Premier League over recent seasons, we know the teams that have got big egos and everything, but I think it's just obviously long term for Newcastle. They will eventually improve on Miggy Almiron, but I think in terms of the back room and the running, I think if you had to ask Eddie Howe, who's probably one of the most hardest working players in that squad, it would be Miggy Almiron. Obviously, we said Callum Wilson will not be featuring, so Alan Saint-Maximin is a great big question mark. But going into this game, as we've seen, Connor, it was very much Route 1 against Wolves. It was very disjointed in certain elements of that game as well. I quickly bring up in terms of the team selection. I'll read out, obviously, who did start for Newcastle. If you did miss the game this weekend anyway, which I was watching, they had 21 shots, Newcastle, to 6 shots on target anyway, to Wolves' 10 shots, 4 shots on target. As we've seen with Newcastle, they do tend to get 64% possession against Wolves, and it'll be a different story, won't it, Connor, in terms of when they come to Liverpool, especially if you haven't got that outlet in terms of Alan Saint-Maximin, someone that can carry the ball out of possession, really. But quickly run through, obviously, the team that did feature against Wolves. You had Nick Pope, Trippier, Fabian Schär, Botman, Dan Burn, Willock, Longstaff, Joelinton, as Connor's alluded to, Alan Saint-Maximin on the left, Chris Woods, and Miggy playing right wing anyway, Connor. But in terms of a Liverpool point of view, Connor, Liverpool, as we knew would happen, the training pictures have come out and everyone's lost the marbles. In terms of Jones, Matip and Ramsey have been featured in those images. I'm not 100% in terms of if they will be fit. Will be interesting to see if we do see those 3 players in the match day squad come Wednesday night, mate. But it's a boost for Liverpool, isn't it? And I won't get into what I've seen on social media today, but it helps massively seeing them lads back in training, done it, as much as it does wind people up.
Yeah, 100%, especially with the likes of Curtis Jones. It's like signing a new midfielder.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, I dare someone to clip Connor there, because that is a joke.
That's a massive joke.
There we go.
Massive joke. But yeah,
those 3 seconds you will get clipped, and then no one will look on Twitter and go, "Oh, it will rattle so many people on Twitter."
Clip it, and then just allow Twitter to go at it and just be furious. On transfer deadline day.
Yeah, it's good publicity for your channel, mate. So there you go.
100%. Yeah, are you trying to get hate on me? What the hell? No, but look, I think, at the end of the day, Joel Matip, him being back, of course, is huge, especially with, of course, tough games coming up in the next couple of weeks, especially next week as well in the Merseyside derby as well. But yeah, no, I think, obviously Curtis Jones, Calvin Ramsey as well. Them two.
And Calvin Ramsey, for me, mate, he's probably on chat as well. It's massive to get him, because Trent's literally, for the best part of 3-4 years, he's played every single game possible for Liverpool, mate, and he's not had a rest. We've talked about, obviously, a couple of us, I think the majority of Liverpool being liking to see Costas come in and replace Robbo. But the way in which Robbo did play against Bournemouth, mate, you knew instantly. Would you foresee a world, or just I didn't even speak to you in terms of your post-match, mate. Thoughts on Bournemouth, mate? What most impressed you against Bournemouth, and what you want to see Liverpool take from that game into this? Obviously, wasn't probably the goals, but in terms of the attitude, would you say?
Yeah, if we could take the 9-0 again, then yeah, that'd be sound, wouldn't it? But yeah, no, I think it was just the fact that we went, at them at minute 1. And it wasn't just, oh yeah, we're going to play possession football, we'll try and break them down and so on. And for me, I think the big positive about the game, I think I said this on my channel, was Roberto Firmino. The fact that he didn't come anywhere near that centre circle like he did against Manchester United, and was literally, in between Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz, connecting the play in the final third. And that is what we've missed from a Liverpool side, is looking more threatening at the top. And I looked at the average positions as well, and against United, like I mentioned, the centre circle, that was where Roberto Firmino
he
was
there,
all
wasn't he?
game. Yeah, well, James Milner was higher than Roberto Firmino against Manchester United. And then, of course, apart from Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino was the furthest player up the pitch as well. But again, I think, obviously, on the Liverpool side of things, Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho massively are, improving week in, week out, looking amazing. Harvey Elliott getting his goal, and of course, for his grandmother as well. And we all know the story with that. Now, I didn't know it at the time. I think Doug told me, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I know he trained alone today, I think. They were trying to make sure that he was fine. Because I think he come off at half time because of a muscle problem, but I think he's going to be fine. For
Klopp said it was all right, really. Yeah.
And Carvalho, for me, he looks so impressive. Even more. We spoke about it. Even before the season, and Fulham fans were telling us that he's got a higher ceiling than Harvey Elliott, and what we've seen of him so far has been nothing short of impressive. And like you mentioned, Trent, Robbo, the two of them look back to their best. But again, you can't really judge it against Bournemouth, and especially that Bournemouth side that, every single time Liverpool went forward, we looked like scoring, realistically.
Which was mad, mate. Happy days, he didn't change the tactics, but I think all of us, even you watching the game, mate, and everyone listening as well, it was mad. It was almost like they just went, go ahead, Liverpool. It's similar when Joe and teams play against City certain games. Joe, after it used to be always like a West Brom or whoever Sam Allardyce used to play, or like a Burnley, they'd play basically their Champions League game against Liverpool, and then the following week, as good as City are, their defences would part like the Red Sea, mates. To be like, go ahead, City, score 6. After keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool the following the week prior, anyway. But yeah, no, spot on there, mate. In terms of team selection, Connor, would you make any changes as well, chat? Let me know. My saying, you never change your winning team, and for me, I think especially the game we've had, I know it was against Bournemouth, but even still, as Jazz has said there, we go into this game with the same attitude. Newcastle don't stand a chance as well. But for me, I go with this mantra: don't change your winning team. I know when we are dropping points here and there, as we have done at the beginning of the season, mate. But I think this, hopefully, everyone touch wood, this little tricky period that we had at the beginning of the season is behind us, and we can go on a run, mate. Would you make any changes, Connor and chat?
I agree on the sense of that. I do have a little bit of a thought process past Newcastle, not obviously going past Newcastle in terms of the game, but obviously we've got the Merseyside derby coming up at 12:30 on Saturday. But obviously you've got 5 substitutions, so the game could be done and dusted, like obviously against Bournemouth. And we could change things around. So no, I wouldn't change anything. If I was to maybe change one thing, it would be Robbo for Costas. I think, you mentioned it. I think Costas deserves a start. When he come on against Bournemouth, got 2 assists. Did Costas. So I think, that would be the only change, to keep Robbo fresh for the Merseyside derby. But again, I think you mentioned it perfectly. You don't change a winning side, and especially, battering a side 9-0. I don't think you can change much from that either.
Bloody yeah, we all, if you're listening or watching anyway, Gary, one of my long-term subscribers, if you are listening on podcast form, he's put in the comments, Gary's going with a 7-0 prediction for Wednesday. I'll tell you what, Gary, if that happens, happy days. Diaz, Salah, Elliott. So are they all going to get what, Diaz hat-trick, Salah hat-trick, and then an Elliott goal or something? I'll tell you what, all the fantasy football managers out there would very much take that. We'll get to all your comments as well. Big up Dave, LFC chats as well. Head over to Dave's channel, absolute legend. But he said, hi, John. Henry here. Go ahead, Sean. Well, Dave, just literally called him. Yeah, might as
Get
well
the
be.
wallet out.
Yeah, Dave, if you are John Henry, get your wallet out, lads. Newcastle, as Eamon said, Newcastle are being hyped up too much. Another mid-table finish for me. Interesting for us there, Eamon. I think similar with quite a couple of teams there, Eamon. I'd agree with you in relation to Sinwood and Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, it's great to actually see Arsenal string a couple of results together, but soon as Arsenal do start playing European football this season, and in the next, not just for Liverpool, but for a lot of teams, every team, Connor's going to be playing 3-4 games a week. And this is where your squad does get tested and does get injuries and will pick up injuries. It's how teams do cope with that. Would you say, Miss?
Yeah, 100%. I do think Arsenal fans are getting very carried away on social media, where they're like, "Oh yeah, we're in this, we're gonna be in this title race and blah 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 blah." And it's like, yeah, look at last season where they had that rough patch in November, December time, and it went downhill very very quickly. And of course, obviously, then back end of last season as well. But it's not even that. It's like you mentioned, teams are now going to be playing 3-4 times a week until the World Cup. And then even after that, I think there's about 3 games a week. I think for the first period after that, and then it eases out then around January, February time. So again, like I mentioned earlier, the league could literally change now over the next 4 weeks. Teams would be going up and down and so on. And probably the next couple of weeks you'll find out who is actually going to be in that bracket of champions, contenders, and obviously Champions League and Europa League.
And who are the pretenders? Hey,
yeah, you could say that. But again, I just think that it's good to see Arsenal up there again, and it's nice to see them actually be competitive. But I just think, again, when Liverpool and City are up and running, when Arsenal and Spurs are up and running, I think everyone's in their own little brackets. Obviously, I still think Liverpool and City are the 2 best teams in the league. Spurs and Arsenal could be fighting for third and fourth. Even Chelsea in that bracket as well. Man United, of course, have got 2 wins, and they reckon they're going to win the league now because they signed Anthony for 100 mil.
Ajax are absolutely made up.
Was it 165 mil this summer?
Yeah, in the space of a window. And I was speaking to Maisie last night, a couple of Man United people that did drop in the stream yesterday. Thank you to everyone that did drop in anyway. And Maisie said Man United could have got Anthony for about 50-60 million. A couple of months ago, but I think it was 6 months ago, but they didn't, and they've gone back to Ajax with the tail in between the legs now, saying, "Oh, can we have him for a bit more?" But no, he's spot on there, mate, and it's interesting chat as well. Everyone watching and listening, how the next couple of weeks do transpire. But I'm excited for this, Connor. I'm made up, most importantly as well, everyone, that we have got another home game back to back, and Liverpool. Hopefully, we can take 6 points off the back of obviously Bournemouth and Newcastle. It's not going to be an easy game. We know the game plan, and obviously the game in which we did have against Newcastle last season away from home. It was a Naby Keita goal. Connor won it. That really sealed the victory for Liverpool. It was a 1-0 win anyway, and it wasn't easy then. But as we said, did you give your starting 11, Con? I was going to say, just quickly go through your starting 11.
Same as Bournemouth.
Same as Bournemouth, yeah.
But like I said, I think Kostas is the only player that could change it, maybe. But again, like you mentioned, I think don't change your winning side, especially when you batter a team 9-0 as well.
Yeah, the only reason I'd potentially bring in Kostas is just rest Robbo for the Ev. We know how that game will transpire. It's going to be an ugly game in terms of it's not going to be an easy game, as we see now. And Frank Lampard will sit everyone behind the ball, try and frustrate Liverpool, most importantly. But I think we have a couple of players that are masters of the dark arts, something that we've learned in recent seasons, especially when we played against Real Madrid. And I think Robbo he's our wind-up merchant. Him and Jota, I think that's why we need Jota back as well. As most importantly, his goals, Jota, but the way in which the bite we missed against Manchester United. So some of those nasty players, we need them back.
Just don't play Darwin Núñez. Just don't play Darwin Núñez.
I think we got to keep Darwin Núñez on a leash against Everton. if he's getting that wound up against I forgot Palace,
Anderson.
against Anderson, Christ, mate. Thank God Richarlison is not playing for Everton. Oh my lord! But it's going to be Connor Cosey. He's a scouser. He knows exactly what he needs to do against Nunes if he does start. But as he said there, mate, I foresee Bobby the form, especially if Bobby gets another hat-trick of assists or something mad this weekend. I think I can foresee Bobby leading the line against Ev, even though Nunes, what a great option to have off the bench anyway. But you can't drop Bobby in this form if he does continue off the back of the Bournemouth game, mate. Chat, get your score predictions in for the Newcastle game anyway. I'm gonna go 3-1 Liverpool, hopefully. Chat, Connor, what are you gonna go with, mate?
I think considering Newcastle's injuries, I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Clean sheets, I say. That was probably the best bit about as well as the goals anyway, mate. Even my mum, I was up saying to chat yesterday on the live stream watch-alongs of the games. My mum come in and was like, she was like, did Salah score? I was like, no. And she was like, how did we score 9 goals and Salah didn't score? I was like, you're telling me. But so you've gone 2-0. I've gone 3-1. Jack, get your score predictions in anyway. But we'll get to everyone's comments most importantly as well. As Gary said there, Liverpool can hate Newcastle 100%. As we said at the top of the show, people that are just listening or watching now, the potential injury news for Newcastle. Bruno, I think he's more or less 50-50, but he was out against Wolves due to a thigh injury anyway. Kraft is out due to a knee injury. Alan Saint-Maximin, another thigh injury that he did sustain at the back end of the game. I'd be very surprised if he's fully fit. Shelby is out with a thigh injury as well. And obviously Wilson is out with a thigh injury, who I think recently did have surgery on that injury. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Newcastle will come to Anfield and they will try and frustrate us. I'm just hoping everyone we put in the show, and as Connor's alluded to, and a lot of you already in chat, we're wanting to have that exact impact that we had against Bournemouth. So, yeah. So if we can approach the game the way we did, Connor. What's the closing thoughts, Connor? We spoke about the attitude. We spoke about the performance level as well. Is there any other aspect of Liverpool's game that you want to see possibly improved or take into the Newcastle game, mate?
I think
I want to see some more set pieces as well.
Yeah, if Saint-Maximin's fit, for me, I want Virgil to step off a little bit from the high line. Because obviously, I think we could all, like we mentioned the start 11s, I think we can all say Joe Gomez and Virgil will be the partnership for the weekend. And we all know the pace of Saint-Maximin as well. So for me, I don't want it to be like, us dominating for 30, 40 minutes and then obviously Zaha goes on to score like it did against Palace. So I think that needs to be a big thing. And yeah, just off corners as well. Like you mentioned, set pieces. And that last season,
I was just made up watching that Bournemouth game. We were actually scoring off set plays. I know we were like the second highest goal scorers last year. So the stats are there to back it up that we do score quite a lot. But I feel, I was speaking to chat on the watch long as well. Sometimes when you do watch Liverpool and you're like, what are we doing? Like when sometimes, and looking at other teams as well, it's not just Liverpool. Short corners, just mix it up, really. That's what I'd like to see, mate.
The other thing for me as well is give other players opportunities with free kicks, like direct free kicks. Like Trent can have one, fair enough, but we all know Virgil van Dijk can hit a ball as well.
Before we signed Van Dijk, and spot on there, Con and chat, and I think we'd all agree. I all watched those, and everyone was going, all the Celtic fans, oh yeah, he's good on set plays and set pieces, and I'm like, yeah, sounds. It's a bit like Ronaldo. He'll score once every blue moon in about 3 years for Liverpool on a free kick.
To be fair, if it's a winning goal, I don't care. As long as it goes in.
40-yard scream at Goodison.
No, exactly. But no, I do think that I think Liverpool often if we get 1 or 2 free kicks and just give Virgil one, especially if we're 2-0 up or something like that, or even Salah as well, because Salah can take free kicks.
Well, another Trent that we had this weekend when the cop and the whole stadium goes shoot Trent. Yeah. I was like, oh,
Well, to be fair, how many times we heard that and they've actually took the shot and it's been like about 60 yards that way.
Yeah, it
instead
ends
of
up
at
in
the
my
goal.
back garden. But yeah, it's very rare that does happen, mate, but he's spot on. Let's get to everyone's comments as well. But please do, everyone, head over to the Cop Council. Connor is live with me. Thank you for asking me to go on, mate, at 9 p.m. GMT tonight, if you are listening. So that's the Cop Council anyway. But get to everyone's comments before we do shoot off. And please, if you are watching on the repeat, let us know if you did get a notification, because I know Rob, obviously in the live comments tonight, he did say, bloody YouTube, I didn't get my notifications. But yeah, nice one, YouTube. Nice one. No, I played the same team at the moment, obviously, in relation to obviously the team selection panel I was on with. No, I would play the same team at the moment. Not great, not a great deal we could change, to be fair, 100% there, base. John saying, is Alex Saint-Maximin fit? His hamstring looked gone yesterday. Yeah, as we were saying, mate, there's a massive question mark over that. I think at Newcastle, similar with, they've not got a lot of options. And if it's the thing, though, as we've said this season with certain players, we don't really want to rush players back just for one specific game. And it'll be interesting, obviously, the way Newcastle would look at it, similar with Bournemouth, it's more or less a free hit. You're not anticipated to get 3 points against Liverpool, Connor.
No.
So they don't want to be put in a situation where they're risking them against Liverpool and then missing them for like the mad period that we've got coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with all of them, to be fair. Like Bruno Guimaraes, like we mentioned him briefly as well.
I'm just going to call him Bruno. You know where I'm like with second ones.
Guimaraes. No, there's probably different ways to pronounce it.
The better Bruno in the Prem. Wait, what?
100%. But you look at it, and those types of players, they are like similar to Haas, how Virgil's so crucial to the defense, obviously Fabinho and even Mo. It's the same with Newcastle, obviously. Then with Saint-Maximin, Bruno as well, and even Isaac as well. We don't even know if he'll be playing as well. So you'd much rather take the low risk now and not bother to play him, and then play him obviously then next week in the Premier League. But yeah, I'm interested to see if they do just start like 4-4-2 and just put Chris Wood up front alongside Virgil for the game.
Oh, it's just going to be full on Brexit, innit? Get Chris Wood up front. Like, I know Chris Wood's not even from England, is he? He's from like New Zealand or Australia? Yeah, he's from New Zealand, yes. But yeah, but as I said, it's exactly if obviously, as we said, Wilson will be missing, and obviously if Saint-Maximin is missing, then it will be literally Chris will get the ball, cross it in, and hope. And that probably, as you said, mate in chat, that goes hand in hand exactly what Virgil van Dijk loves to do, especially even Joel Matip to a certain extent, and even Joe Gomez, as we've seen when Gomez did come on in that second half against Crystal Palace. The improvements, especially when we were down to 10 men, that's a part of Joe Gomez's game and Van Dijk's game that I suppose all of our centre halves, even Big Nat, Christ, he thrives on an aerial combating game. That's his bread and butter, really. But as Steve said here, nice one, Steve, for leaving your comment, mate. And thank you to every single one of you for tuning in. And apologies if not Newcastle, I'm blaming Newcastle for not sending out the notifications. YouTube, sorry for YouTube not notifying you, everyone. If you're not getting any notifications that we're going live, just click on all notifications, click off, say like you don't want to get notified, click it off, and then reapply it. Hopefully that works, everyone. But Steve said here, I think Costa's proven himself time after time. Robbo does burn himself out. We need more rotation between these two positions as well. 100% agree with it, and obviously Connor alluded to it before. If it's the fact that we've got an option down that left-hand side as well, chat, that we can bring in a quality player like Costas. A very long time ago, we were just left with Alberto Moreno playing left-back, or Ali Sissoko. How times have changed. Oh, Christ. We've got those two quality players to playing for Liverpool then. Jack, we're not going to mention that Napoli game last night. That's how you what. Did you tune in, Con, or chat as well? Thank you to every single one of you that did tune in or watch that video. It was like a little scouting report, but if Napoli play, basically it ended 0-0. Shock horror there anyway. But if Napoli play like that against Liverpool, it's going to be about 5-6-0 to Liverpool against Napoli when we play them next week anyway.
How many times have we said that over the last couple of years, and they've had the best game of their season?
Yeah, if Liverpool are at it, and I know we haven't a couple of times this season, but it's early days. But I think hopefully that we'll go, as we spoke about Connor tonight and chat, we can grow into the form now. And I think City, would you say Connor, City and Liverpool thrive off the? I know the coaches wouldn't, with the comments they've said over the last couple of years, but I think Liverpool and City play their best football when there's a more closer proximity in terms of the recovery time and more games, would you say, mate?
Yeah, 100%. And look, I think also a big factor into this as well is exactly what Jurgen said in the last press conference. He said that, he wants to be, the team that, people come and fear again. And obviously that Bournemouth result will change that now. And especially if it's a similar type performance against Newcastle, if it's like 4-0 Liverpool or something like that, you're like, oh, bloody hell, Liverpool are back as they were again, and especially we get the win as well.
It's a statement though as well, Connor and chat, isn't it? If we can go and... Oh, I thought Connor just fell off his chair then. For all the audio listeners, Connor's camera just fell off as a...
My camera just fell off a tripod.
Yeah, I honestly thought there, for the audio listeners, I thought Connor just literally just fell off his chair then. No. Were you okay, Connor? It was just a camera, wasn't it?
No, my tripod just decided to fly.
Connor, it's fair.
No, don't worry. Like, we have that clip somewhere if Jack couldn't get up off his chair.
I literally got stuck on my chair on one of Connor's videos, and we were late on terms of hitting start, so I do apologise.
No, I think we hit start. And then as soon as we hit that, then it got stuck.
Nah.
So
very professional when me and Connor do go. Yeah, it's always professional when me and Connor go live, isn't it?
100%. I don't know what people are talking about.
Much better than Sky Sports News. Some of the stuff you do watch on there, like.
No comment. No comment.
But yeah, shout out there. But yeah, 100% agree with you there, mate. And I think the camera disagreed, but we move. But Avon's gone with a 3-0 win to the Reds. Panov's gone with a 3-0 win to Liverpool. Phillips gone with a 2-0 win for Liverpool. Happy days, mate. Steve has gone with a 2-1 Liverpool. I think it will be more of a tighter game. I know I went with 3-1, but we'd all take a 1-0 as long as Liverpool got the points, most importantly. I think Gary and John have been speaking. John's gone with an 8-0. Oh, tell you what, that would be a statement, especially against this Newcastle side. The form they've been showing since obviously the turn of January, turn of the year. Anyway, as we know, I think Newcastle are just behind Liverpool and Manchester City, or it might be above. Apologies if that's accurate, but yeah, Liverpool, City, and Newcastle are the top three teams in terms of form guides going to the back end of this season as well. So it's not going to be an easy game, as we know. And John's chanting what the Anfield was chanting at the weekend. We won 10. John saying we won 10. Give us 10 and break that record. Though it really annoys me that we didn't break that record, Connor. Did it annoy you? Yeah, that's how selfish I am. Like, I wanted us to say, "Oh, we've got the record now for the most goals scored."
A little bit if Mo decided to turn it up. Put in the back of the net. It's like, because I saying to
Jack, been about 12-13, wasn't it?
I said to Jack before the stream, I was thinking about triple captain in Mo and Fantasy League, and I'm glad I didn't, because I think over 600,000 people triple captained Bobby Firmino on the weekend. So if they did that, then the most random triple captain ever. But fair play to them, because I hate every single one of them, because I think they got over 70 points as well, just off Bobby.
So I triple captained Haaland when he played Bournemouth, and we won't speak about that because the man literally had about 7-8 touches.
8 touches.
Yeah, but we move. No comments on that one. So I've lost my triple captain. 2 for Salah, 2 for Diaz, 1 for Elliott, and 1 for Gomez. I'll tell you what, we'd love that. I got a notification. Nice one there, Panov. Thank you very much, everyone, for your feedback as well in terms of notifications. But I do, Mark, would love a clean sheet, but can't see it, to be honest. 100% there, Mark. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, as well. Get to Philip's final comments. I would like to see that clip of Jack not being able to get out of his chair. I'll tell you what. Yeah, we'll find. Connor will find that there panel
Yeah.
from where. Yeah, Connor will send it to me for a little treat chat as well. To start off the Leeds, and nice one, everyone that did get involved. We will be doing a watch along. You've all voted for me to sift through the a swear chat as well. Thank you to everyone that voted. But I swear if Everton win that game tomorrow, there's going to be choice words with the chat as well.
Did you do a poll for that?
Yeah.
And Everton won.
Yeah, Everton won. So tell you what, happy days of Leeds win, but I'll be having words with you tomorrow. Chat if you ever 3-0 up at half time. Highly unlikely, but funny things have happened anyway. I would like to say, but yeah, we'll get that, Philip. I'll try. Yeah, I'll get Connor to send it to me later, and that'll be the intro.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe come over to my channel at 9 o'clock, and I might have her in time for that if I can find it. So
yeah, I was gonna say everyone head over to Cop Council, but don't. Wait, what? But yeah, I was joking, lad.
Do you know what? Hey, this contract that he's supposed to be sending me, the chat knows about. He still hasn't sent it.
It's only a box of Maltesers, and like you get an extra supply of like Doritos or something. Like
Doritos.
Do you like Doritos?
Get in the bin.
Oh. But yeah, Connor, thank you very much for coming on, mate, as well. Connor, just shout out your channel, mate, and obviously what you've got coming up tonight and obviously this week, mate. Please.
Yeah, so thanks for having us on. And yeah, don't worry, that clip of me kicking. Like, to be fair, there's been other clips that I've kicked. Clicked. I think I kicked my camera once. I'm completely flying on Jack's stream. So you don't worry, the tripod's all right. I'm looking at it now, and it looks like it's about to fall again. But yeah, the Cop Council on YouTube. Obviously tonight we're going to be talking about midfielders. The great and wonderful saga of Liverpool Football Club at the minute.
It's great. It's great. The midfielder and Liverpool is the algorithm on YouTube at the minute, so fair play.
100%. But yeah, tomorrow Newcastle preview on my channel as well. And yeah, obviously then after that we'll be doing deadline day on Thursday. And then on Friday then we're going to be talking about the Merseyside derby. So busy week, busy couple of weeks, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting as well the next couple of days. But yeah, thank you for having me on as well.
Yeah, especially we're all going to be done. We're all going to be done when the transfer window shuts. We'll just have to do pre-match, post-match shows and more shows on actual Liverpool winning games. So, that's where I'm in my elements. I much prefer doing that. But as we said, midfielder and Liverpool. If you just search on YouTube or just on Google, anyways, Google keywords is basically Liverpool midfielder, De Jong, Tillemans, or whoever Liverpool will be linked with. Yeah, nice. Yeah, they go through the roof as well. And judging from obviously our videos as well, also each to their own as well. But up to Liverpool and midfielders, John Envy, final closing words. Get your wallet out, son, as well. You've got 3-4 days. I don't even know how long's left. But John, nice one, fella, if you can do that and sort Jurgen Klopp out. But Connor, thank you most importantly for coming on, mate. As I said, please do head over to Connor from the Cop Council. He's live tonight. If you are watching on the repeats, head over, drop Connor a subscribe, most importantly, as well. Nice one, mate, for coming on. And we'll get to everyone's comments before we do head off. So everyone's comments do get featured on the channel as well. As I was saying, I would love, it's from Philip, I'd love to see that. Oh, sorry, I read that one. Owen, nice one, fella, for your comments. What do you guys think the midfield will be? Yeah, Owen, I think it's going to be Jay Speed and James Milner and Jordan Henderson against John Joe Shelby, Joelinton, and what is it? Who else would you throw in that Newcastle midfield, mate? Yeah, get Kabay on a free transfer when he's about 40 years old. But yeah, serious. I think, as I said, mate, with my start 11, I wouldn't change it. So I'd go with Fabinho, obviously Hendo on the left central midfield, and obviously Harvey Elliott, mate. As I said, for me personally, what would yours be, Owen? Before you head off, let me know your midfield. But John, behave, lad. I'm joking. He's just said everyone needs to see that content. Nice one, Amons, absolute legends as well, and obviously Mark just pins. Obviously Connor. So just head over. Connor is live at 9 p.m. Head over there anyway. I will be live on Matt's obviously channel. Obviously the great Bournemouth fan that did come on the channel and give his insight. I'll be live literally any second now on his channel. So head over there, everyone. Absolute legends as well. Sign a contract, Connor. But yeah, could be Jack's new intro. Oh yeah, it'd probably be much better than the intros I've made in recent weeks. Anyway, definitely. Well, just a blooper reel of like the shows we've done. That would be quite hilarious. That. As well later, lads, as well. But nice one, everyone. Absolute legends as well. Up to Jay Speeden. He's going to be Liverpool's new midfield signing anyway. Give him a new 5-year contract. Go ahead. Because I know a lot of people don't get sarcasm on Twitter anyway. But up the Reds. Hopefully, Connor, as we said, do get 3 points against Newcastle. Won't be an easy game. But as I said, thank you to every single one of you for all the support, not just for tonight, but over the last 5 years as well. I'm going nowhere, that would probably disappoint quite a lot of people on YouTube. But yeah, I'm going nowhere. As the words of Wolf of Wall Street. McKindle, get off the mic, fella. But yeah, Manuel is gone with a 3-0 Newcastle win. It's time to go. But nice. Thank you very much for that, Manuel. Absolute legends as well. But yeah, we'll sort that chat as well. It'll be the 1 million views, but I can't even get over that. Nice one to every single one. Even to all the negative people out there as well. Thank you for all your views as well. Greatly appreciated. Absolute legends. Everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. And hopefully the Reds can get 3 points. We've got our Leeds Everton watch along tomorrow. And obviously, most importantly, we've got the Liverpool Newcastle watch along on Wednesday. So if you don't get your notification, there will be a watch along, everyone. But Reds, Connor, thank you very much. And everyone listening and tuning in. Have a lovely rest of your night. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the Leeds Everton watch along. Nice one, Connor Reds. Oh, no, I don't want to be clicking that one.